Have you heard of the Clockwork Carnival? It's this alluring whisper passed between strangers in a crowded room, right? And it is actually the exact spark that ignites our protagonist's entire journey in today's explainer.
Clockwork Carnival, public spectacle versus private liberation. We're diving straight into J.C. Dorset's novel today, and we'll be zooming in and out, jumping between the critical, objective lens of high society and the deeply intimate journey of one woman's sensory awakening.
Part 1. The Gilded Cage. This is where we meet Ophelia Thorne and explore the rigid world she is desperately trying to break free from.
I mean, think about a time you felt completely suffocated by expectations. That is Thorne Manor for Ophelia. She's this demure debutante totally trapped in a monochrome, oppressive life. Endless etiquette, the looming threat of an arranged marriage, and just tedious small talk. On the outside, she's picture perfect, but inside, there's a rebellious spirit ready to break out. Her desires are pulling her toward the carnival, a completely vibrant, chaotic realm of steam-powered marvels, illicit desires, and untamed freedom. The contrast here is absolutely staggering, and it perfectly sets up everything she's about to risk.
So what exactly is this place she's dreaming of? Let's get into Part 2, the Clockwork Carnival.
Let's zoom out for a second and look at the macro-level world building. Drawing from the local newspaper reports, Dorset sprinkles into the text. We see the carnival has a strict dual identity. By day, it is this wonderfully family-friendly marvel. You've got the curiosity carousel, a clockwork petting zoo, the exhibition hall. But by night, the gates lock. The atmosphere completely shifts. It morphs into a highly exclusive, heavily guarded hub for high society's taboo desires.
The absolute centerpiece of the night? The sensu dolls. These are insanely intricate, scantily clad wind-up dancing automata. They literally blur the line between human fluidity and clockwork precision. And according to the cultural critics in the novel, they sparked massive public debate. I mean, are they boundary-pushing artistic expressions or just perpetuating the objectification of the female body? The novel actually presents both sides totally neutrally, letting the spectacle itself challenge the rigid norms of the era.
And the controversy totally doesn't stop there. The carnival also features opulent opium lounges designed for voyeurism, where hidden vignettes kind of blur the line between reality and reverie. There are even candid, scandalous photography studios. Critics in the book rightfully question the ethics, consent, and power dynamics here. But patrons, they just keep flocking to it. So why does this matter to us? Well, it shows that beneath all those strict Victorian rules, there's a universal, desperate hunger for escape. People are literally willing to cross any line just to feel something genuine.
Which brings us right back to our protagonist in Part 3, Private Scandal, Public Desires. Actually, wait, scratch that. Public Scandal, Private Desires.
So Ophelia bravely ventures into this illicit nighttime world and meets Raven, this enigmatic fortune teller with alluring tattoos. This tarot reading is a massive turning point. Raven tells her, "You possess an inner fire that burns brightly, despite society's attempts to extinguish it." This isn't just some parlor trick. It's a huge, empowering realization. For the very first time, someone actually sees her. It validates the hunger she's felt her whole life, and she finally realizes she absolutely has to break her chains.
But breaking those chains takes some seriously drastic measures. Let's walk through the timeline of her escape, because it is wild. First, the catalyst. Lord Harrington formally asks for Ophelia's hand in marriage. Total nightmare scenario for her. So, at a grand masquerade ball, Ophelia takes charge. She actually drugs the guests' wine, and while they're incapacitated, she sets Thorne Manor ablaze to fake her own death. Then, slipping away in a dark cloak, she flees straight to Raven at the carnival.
She completely leaves Ophelia Thorne in the ashes. Reborn as Delilah, she fully immerses herself in this mechanical paradise. And Raven greets her with the ultimate validation. "Welcome home, Delilah."
But of course, utopias rarely last, right? Let's move into Part 4, Sabotage and Shadows.
Just as Delilah and Raven start building their new life together, disaster strikes. A devastating fire suddenly ravages the Hall of Mirrors. The narrative tension just skyrockets here. Amidst the smoldering ruins of the rides, Raven spots a suspicious new technician. So we have to ask, who exactly is this mysterious saboteur?
Turns out it's a guy named Blackbird. He's posing as a technician, but his motives are intensely personal. He's driven by a toxic, intense jealousy of Raven, and he wants vengeance because Ophelia chose Raven over him. His plan? Literally raze the entire Clockwork Carnival to ashes.
Thankfully, Raven manages to overpower him, snagging a strange explosive device in the process. Raven hands him straight over to the carnival's icy leader, Madame Vespra, and her terrifying security force, the Gardics. This sabotage could have easily broken them, but instead, it leads right to Part 5, forging a new destiny.
Let's look at how this builds the core thematic tension of the climax. On one hand, you've got Madame Vespera. She demands absolute obedience, utilizes those ruthless Gardics, and ominously warns that the carnival always collects its debts. On the other hand, Raven and Delilah are seeking untamed freedom, mutual partnership, and mechanical innovation. It's no longer just about a carnival anymore. It's a clash between authoritarian control and the human spirit's demand for real, untamed independence. As Delilah fully embraces this rebellion, she dives into the carnival's deepest, most hidden layers. She unlocks a room with crimson velvet doors and finds a grand piano where she can just freely express her soul through music. Guided by a woman named Isabella, she explores the palace's most lavish and explicit spaces. She even experiences this wild, steam-powered mechanical octopus contraption. It's the ultimate realization of her sensory and societal liberation. She is now 100% in command of her own desires.
To permanently cement this transformation, she and Raven hit the carnival's hidden tattoo parlor. Getting a Clockwork and Raven motif permanently inked onto her back, she tells him, "I am yours, bound by blood and ink." It is such a striking moment, a permanent dedication to her new life, entirely on her own terms.
But as we wrap up this explainer, we're left with a pretty provocative question. Can true, unbridled liberation actually survive the flames of a rigid society? Or would the carnival always collect its debts? Blackbird was stopped, sure, but Madame Vespera is still watching. J.C. Dorset brilliantly leaves us wondering if freedom is ever truly free, or if escaping one gilded cage just means stepping into another beautifully mechanized one. It's an absolutely fascinating world, and I highly recommend diving into the source material to see how Delilah's journey continues.